Ladies and gentlemen, King Bryce has officially arrived. The Alabama version of Bryce Young is now in the NFL. Yeah, it's happened 2 years and some change into his career, but you know what they say, better late than never. Over these last couple of weeks, I've noticed Bryce Young has made incredible improvements, but I haven't really been fully sold on him until after the way he played today and the Panthers 26-23 loss in overtime against the Buccaneers. They had a chance to win it. Bryce Young was driving them downfield, getting them close to getting in the field goal range to get this win, but instead, Chuba Hubbard fumbled the rock. The Bucs recover. They go ahead, get the game-winning field goal from short range, and they walk away with the dub. The Panthers walk away with the L, but they took a moral victory in this game because Bryce Young continued to show that he deserves to get a third year. And maybe Bryce Young is one of those quarterbacks where he wasn't going to be one of those QBs that was going to be great right away. Maybe it was going to take him being 2-3 years in to start playing good football. Maybe he could be the second coming of Alex Smith in some capacity. But Bryce Young's stats don't tell the full story because statistically, these stats don't really pop out on the stat sheet. 298 passing yards, 1 touchdown. He should have had 2. Adam Thielen dropped 1. And he completed 26 out of 46 of his passes. Bryce Young looked like the player he was supposed to be coming out of Alabama, which was a point guard. He wasn't somebody that was going to be making all of these crazy 40, 50-yard across his body throws. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not Caleb Williams. He's not that flashy. He just is somebody that you call the play and he runs your offense to perfection because he has a really high football IQ. He gets the ball out fast. He's accurate within the short intermediate areas of the field. And you are starting to see all of the traits that made the Panthers fall in love with trading up with the Chicago Bears for the first overall pick to draft them in 2023 over these last couple of games. Ever since Bryce Young got benched, he has played the best football of his career. He's been consistent. The first 2 games of the season against the Chargers and the Saints, I couldn't even get to the fourth quarter of watching them because Bryce Young just made the Panthers unwatchable. He couldn't even get this offense past the 50 in those games. Well, since he's been the starter after getting benched for Andy Dalton, he has a touchdown-interception ratio 6-3. Before his benching, he had 0 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He was the worst quarterback in the league. He was the worst quarterback in NFL history at that time. I called him a bigger bust than Jamarcus Russell. But over these last couple of weeks, I've quietly started to regain faith and confidence that Bryce Young can be the franchise quarterback that the Panthers have been looking for. Because what Bryce Young is an elite distributor of the football. He's a smaller version of Tua Tagovailoa. He throws with great anticipation. He has really good ball placement. And he can hit the occasional 40, 50-yard deep ball here and there, although he has average to above average arm strength. Bryce Young is a really good system quarterback when you give him good pieces around him. But the thing is, you got a lot of random wide receivers that I never heard of. Who the hell is number 83? I think his name is David Moore or something like that. I've never heard of this guy. The only receivers that I know by name on the Panthers is Xavier Legette, their tight end Jatavian Sanders, Adam Thielen, and that's about it. So a lot of the dudes that Bryce Young has been throwing to, I don't even know if they're going to be on the Panthers team next year, but it gives you more confidence in Bryce because if you're having this level of success with these randos and these younger players, imagine what you could do next year when you get some better receivers. Like, what if the Panthers sign T. Higgins in free agency? I feel like that would be a great pickup for Bryce Young. You got a wide receiver that can win on the outside, get those contested catches, get those 50-50 balls, be a really good threat in the red zone. And Dave Canales, I had some belief in him when he first took this job, more than most Panthers fans did. But with how ugly things were for the Panthers at the start of this season, I was starting to lose faith in Dave Canales. But, over these last couple of weeks, he quietly has started to live up to his reputation of being a quarterback whisperer. He helped resurrect Baker Mayfield and Geno Smith's careers, and look what he's doing with Bryce Young over these last couple of weeks. You got to give him a lot of credit for how well he's done of developing Bryce Young, because I've never seen this drastic of an improvement out of a quarterback in season. The last time I saw a quarterback get this good throughout the season was Jordan Love last year, when he went from being a bum to all of a sudden playing like a top 5, top 10 quarterback the final 2-3 months of the year. Bryce Young, he doesn't have a lot of physical traits that are going to make you go, wow, but he's a really good quarterback at getting the ball out fast, running the offense, not turning the football over. And the Panthers got 2 really good running backs. Chuba Hubbard just got an extension not too long ago. And Jonathan Brooks, I was wondering if he was going to play this year coming off that ACL injury that he suffered this final year in Texas. Well, he looked pretty good with the little amount of work that he got in this game today. So Bryce Young, it looks like King Bryce has finally arrived. He has finally taken the throne down in Charlotte, Carolina. And I'm really confident that Bryce Young is going to continue to play at this level for the remainder of this season and next year. I don't think that this is fool's gold that we are seeing out of Bryce Young, because listen, if you watch his first 2 games of this year against the Saints and the Chargers, and you watch him now, it is a complete night and day difference. He was scared to throw the ball more than 5-10 yards downfield. Now you got Bryce Young, he goes through his first progression, then he goes to his second progression. The ball is immediately out. I don't see him taking a bunch of stupid sacks. I don't see him running into defenders. I see a guy that actually looks like an NFL starting quarterback now. I didn't see that the first 2 games of this year. We might have to give Dave Canales Coach of the Year consideration if the Panthers are able to get the 6 wins this year, because this is one of the more fantastic turnarounds that I've seen since Brian Flores took a winless Dolphins team and was able to win some games with them. This is a Panthers team that coming into this year, they were expected to be the worst team in the league. They were expected to have the number 1 overall pick in the draft once again. And for them to kind of, be competitive against the Chiefs and everybody else they play, give Dave Canales some props and give Bryce Young some props. I'm not going to keep trying to diminish what Bryce Young has done. He deserves a 3rd season. And the reason why he deserves a 3rd season, regardless if this is fool's gold or not, is because this quarterback class is not that good anyway. If you can't get Shedeur or Cam Ward, you might as well roll with Bryce Young for a 3rd season. Because if worst case scenario plays out, he still is bad or he isn't that good, you can move on from him, trade him, cut him, whatever you want to do, and draft another quarterback next year. And if Bryce Young is bad, hopefully you'll be in position to maybe draft Arch Manning or any of the other top available quarterback prospects next year. Maybe a Drew Aller or somebody like that. But I like what I've been seeing out of Bryce Young. I think he's been playing some really solid football over the last couple of weeks. I'm not going to say great because all of these games haven't been great, but his last 2 games have been the 2 best games of his career. And this is the first time that I've seen Bryce Young string together back-to-back good performances consecutively. So it's a sign that this brother is developing, he's growing, and Dave Canales, whatever he's doing to develop him is actually working, and there's a little bit of hope for the Carolina Panthers.